The Rings of Power Episode 2 Recap. Galadriel spends most of this episode adrift at sea. She comes across a shipwrecked crew of humans who were attacked by a giant sea creature they call the Worm. She and a man called Halbrand survive an attack by the Worm and are eventually found by a mysterious figure on a boat. Is Halbrand at all suspicious to you? Nori, the Harfoot, falls into the crater where the stranger landed, but the fire does not burn her, just like the fire didn't burn the elves and the evil fortress from Episode 1. She and Poppy cart the man to a safe place where Nori watches over him. The man appears to have great power that comes from his voice, but he doesn't seem to speak Nori's language. He draws strange symbols in the dirt and on the rocks, and eventually he communicates with fireflies to show Nori that he seems to be looking for a constellation or a location on the map where these stars are visible. Does his way of talking to the fireflies remind you of anything? To their dismay, the fireflies drop dead. Is this another sign of evil spreading through the land, or was this evil done by the stranger? Celebrimbor reveals to Elrond his plan to build a magnificent forge. Elrond suggests that they'll need to recruit dwarves from Khazad-dûm to build it. Later, Elrond enters Khazad-dûm only after seeking the right of Sigyn Tarag, where Durin IV challenges him to a rock-breaking contest. Elrond eventually gives up and should be banished, but Durin is convinced to let him stay to meet his family. We learn that Elrond and Durin were friends, but that Elrond has not visited Durin for 20 years, a short time to an elf, but a lifetime of experience for a dwarf. We meet Durin's wife, Disa, and we see his children briefly headbutting. Is this a metaphor for Elrond and Durin's relationship? Durin softens enough to let Elrond stay. Durin then speaks to his father about Elrond's plan, but Durin III doesn't trust the elves. Arondir and Bronwyn discover that there are no bodies or wounded people in the burned village they were investigating, and they find a tunnel that appears to lead back to Bronwyn's village. Arondir enters the tunnels to investigate and is grabbed by something with sharp claws. Was it an orc, an ent, or something else? Bronwyn runs back to her village to warn the people. Theo is startled by an orc under the floorboards in his home. Bronwyn finds him there and manages to kill the orc. She convinces the villagers that the threat is real by showing them the orc's head, and they decide to pack up and leave town. Just before they leave, Theo grabs the shard with Sauron's symbol etched into the blade. Somehow Theo's blood causes the blade to reform. Do you think the evil is growing because Sauron is somewhere in Middle-earth? Who could he be? Please like and subscribe, and check out my other long-form content, especially for quality Wheel of Time book lore, episode breakdowns, theories, and more. Special thanks to my Patreon and YouTube supporters who continue to make this possible. You can support me for as little as $1 per month here on YouTube or on Patreon. Thanks for watching and sharing.